The stream will begin in just a few minutes, so sit tight, relax, and enjoy the eventual show.
Oh, looks like there's a few people in here. Greetings, everybody. We're gonna be starting in just a few minutes. Just want to see, how many people we can get in here. Oh boy, so many folks. I really hope I don't have technical issues. I'm afraid I might. I really hope not. I always get the jitters. Those technical issues jitters. But I tested and tested this, and it should work. But I'm lagging a little bit. Oh boy, let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's lagging a little bit, but it might just be... we'll see. It says one view. Huh. Well, that's weird, Horror Junkie 78. Yeah, hopefully it works out once I actually get started talking to you guys. What's up, everybody? I think I might as well just get started already. So let's get this show on the road, Goulash.
Alrighty, allow me to introduce your host with the most, the one and only, Dr. Wolfula.
Greetings, everybody. It's me, Dr. Wolfula, and welcome to Dr. Wolfula After Dark, my late-night talk show, where you can just ask me questions and just chat with me. Well, let's see what the chat has brought to the table tonight. This is totally unscripted. To a certain degree. Let's just read the chat. What's up, Doc? Says Dead Nerd 81. Good question. Yeah. What's up, Doc? I don't know what's up, Doc. They never really answered that in any of the cartoons. They never did. And that's a little disappointing. Like, they never answered the question, like, ever. Like, Bugs Bunny never got the answer. He always asked the question. Nobody was ever like, well, I'm not a doctor, or just revealed anything related to his question. It's a little disappointing. Like, nobody ever really addressed him, and I feel like that's the thing that really frustrated Bugs Bunny. He always asked what was up, and none of these docs ever told him what was up. What was that? Just a little sly answer, like, nothing but the sky, baby. Like, they never did it. They never did anything to make Bugs Bunny feel validated. It's fucked up. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. But, S-Mice-Me 921 says, welcome back, Doc. I missed you. Well, thank you, sir. I missed you, too. Not you specifically, just, you guys in general. Just the general audience. Animation Destination says, do you have any hobbies? Well, I like to collect Furby. No, wait, no, I can't. No, scratch that. I like to collect, human skin. Yes, human skin. Not Furbies. Not Furbies. I don't collect Furbies. I mean, they are kind of adorable, but I don't collect them at all. Like, not at all. Not at all, okay? So, I hope this doesn't end up in, any, wiki pages or anything like it. It's not an aspect of my life at all. Starboy Vine says, what's my favorite video that I've ever made? Well, I'd like to say, maybe the Scooby-Doo video, just because it was so fun. Just so fun. Oh, looks like I got a... Oh, okay, well, I'll address your super chat in just a moment, Brandon Valdez, but thank you. But I'd have to say the Scooby-Doo video, the review, it was really fun. Talking to me, anything Scooby-Doo related is really fun. Just living in nostalgia and just spending way too long chatting about nostalgic things. It's always so fun. But let me address the super chat right now. Let me see what I got here. Loving the movie streams. Keep those up, says Brandon Valdez. Well, thank you for the super chat, but, I've kind of decided to, sort of, well, I mean, I still do movie streams. It's just through Patreon and not YouTube, because YouTube, kind of kicked my ass over movie streams, unfortunately. I'll probably come back with movie streams soon, though, to YouTube, but they're definitely gonna be strictly public domain, and not stuff that, I just hoped was obscure enough to get past YouTube. I was hoping, but, yeah, they didn't really like Bloody Murder 2 at all. At all. They really fucking fucked me over for a few months over streaming Bloody Murder 2. Reed Albert says, Godzilla or Kong? That's a good question. I'll have to go with King Kong, because America, he's an American-made monster. But really, honestly, I just sympathize with, King Kong more. I don't know. It's the Beauty and the Beast story. Like, he didn't understand where he was. He was just this fucking murderous creature that just was trying desperately to survive on this island filled with dinosaurs, and he just finds himself in New York, and he's just like, like, he just wasn't prepared, because he didn't stand a chance in man's domain at all in this world of technology, and it's very sad. It's unfortunate, but yeah, I'll have to go with King Kong. Just, he's just got a lot of heart, too. He's just got a lot of heart, you know? I love King Kong. I love him so much. Alright, Lucas Scrapritz says, and thank you for the super chat, second Wolfula stream. Where's the other lens on your 6 shades? I actually don't remember where it fell, but it definitely fell off, but I kind of just liked it this way. Like, I kind of just like, this fashion statement, you know? I don't know where the lens ended up, I'm sure it's quite the collector's item at this point. Dr. Wolfula's missing lens. So if you find it lying around, and I guess just a load of trash, like, you know, keep it, maybe sell it on eBay. But I don't know the whereabouts at the moment. I don't know. I don't know at all. Alright, Bongman says happy streaming. Well, thank you. I like the goodwill. And also, you know, I feel like the stream is working pretty okay, based on what I'm looking at, but, let me know I know the lip sync isn't gonna be perfect, but let me know in the chat if lip sync, ever gets kind of weird, or some weird shit happens, because I'm always untrusting of YouTube's handling of my shit. Okay, Pineapple Pizza fan, the Pineappling says, and thank you for the super chat, what's the worst horror movie you've seen? For me, it would be Creepshow 3. I never actually saw Creepshow 3. Creepshow 2 was decent. It was okay, but Creepshow 3 I kind of ignored because it was just an unofficial sequel, and it didn't really have a whole lot to do with the first 2 movies, so I didn't see that. But the worst movie I've ever seen, it's always hard to say, because I usually get some enjoyment from bad movies, you know, so it's hard for me to really say. I guess the most inept, actually, yeah, the most inept movie is probably Birdemic. Part of me hopes that that was on purpose, but, yeah, that's probably the worst movie I've ever seen, yeah, easily. If it was intentionally bad, then yeah, scratch that, but I don't know, I'm just not sure about that, The director claims Birdemic was, you know, not purposely bad, like, you know, he was trying to make a good movie, and fucking failed at it, but I don't know, I'm so conflicted on that, because there's just no way. There was so many people working on Birdemic, there's just no way. There's just no way, I don't know. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Garada K7 says best good bad flick. Okay, so a movie that's good because it's bad. Let me think. Let me think on that for a moment. I guess off the top of my head, I guess maybe I'd say TerrorVision. Like, that's a really good, bad, good flick. Like, it's just got a lot of stuff going for it. But I guess it's kind of satirical, so it's hard to really say if it's... And yeah, it's honestly a really good movie, like, from a satirical standpoint, so I don't know if that's totally fair. Actually, maybe I would say Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2 might be my favorite good bad flick. It's a bad movie, like, it's pretty poorly made. It had a lot of studio interference, but it has this Scooby-Doo quality to it that I just fucking love. I fucking love the Scooby-Doo quality, honestly. I really do love Book of Shadows. It's a guilty pleasure, indeed. To be sure. It doesn't get enough, you know, props honestly, I like Book of Shadows more than the third movie that ended up happening, definitely. Like, I was hoping the third movie would be like, yes, this is a return to form. This will finally do justice to Blair Witch Project, which I feel like Blair Witch Project gets a lot of hate, and I just don't get it. Like, it just has this more... You have to go a little deeper with it. Like, it just has this sort of realistic, gritty, grounded vibe that I really like, and it has this deep lore that I just really fucking love. Just amazing. And I got 2 really generous super chat donations. Let me see. Who is my favorite horror heroine? I don't do heroine myself, but actually, okay, well, I'd have to say, I guess maybe Heather Langenkamp is Nancy Thompson in Nightmare on Elm Street. She's just this very strong character. I really love that character, and thank you again for the super chat donation, Umanio1. And Cody Cope also has a super chat donation, thank you, sir. Have you thought of starting a scandal to boost some subs? Maybe say your ghoul is pregnant, then say it was a prank? And have you ever seen Burial Ground? It's my favorite zombie flick. I've never seen Burial Ground, and it looks like my voice might be out of sync. Let me check. Yeah, it's a little out of sync. Hopefully it works itself out. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's fixed. Okay, thank God. Okay, yeah, I fixed it. Oh, thank God. But yeah, I would never start a, I don't know. I'm not really a guy who likes conflict at all. I don't really like to start conflicts with people. You know, I try to avoid it. I realize that's kind of, in this day and age, the key to getting big on YouTube. But I come from a simpler time when we just sort of coexisted. We just did our own thing. We didn't, we weren't trying to be mean to each other or get, you know, I just want us to all get along. Like, I don't want to cause, I don't think I've ever had really a feud with any YouTubers. And, you know, I've maybe wanted to have some feuds with some YouTubers, but yeah, I don't do it, because I'm just a nice guy. I'm just a nice guy. Deep down, I know I have this sort of scary bad guy image, but I just want to be loved, okay? I just want to be loved. But yeah, fuck some of these YouTubers. Fuck them. Fuck them, okay. But also, I haven't seen Burial Ground, but I'll have to check it out. But let me see, I got some more super chats. Okay, Reed Albert says... Oh man, my eyes are closed. Reed Albert says, and thank you for the super chat, favorite/least favorite Tim Burton films? Favorite Tim Burton film would have to actually probably be either Pee-wee's Big Adventure or Ed Wood. Either one. You know, they both kind of bring some cool stuff to the table. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, yeah, I guess I'd go with Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It's just a really fun movie. I've watched it more times than I can count. Yeah, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And also, Crazy has a super chat. Thank you, sir. Hi, Dr. Wolfula. What is your favorite video game? My favorite video game, at the moment, it's Breath of the Wild, but I guess all time would have to be Knights of the Republic Sith Lords. Really fun game. Really fun game. And also, Lucas Scripritz says, and thank you for the super chat, is Goulash up for sale on the black market? No sorry. No sorry. Like, I would get sued if I made Goulash into a commercial product, because he's just so faulty. Like, no sorry. I don't want to have to deal with that kind of accountability and liability. I don't want to deal with that shit. Not at all. So, I'm just gonna have to deal with him myself. Yeah, definitely not. Pineapple Pizza Fan has a super chat, and thank you, sir. Would you call Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation a reboot of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series? Yeah, actually I would. You know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 is also kind of a reboot. You know, they really, twice were trying to reset the timeline and shit, because, like, both of those movies, 3 and 4, just cannot, like, exist with 1 and 2 at all. So, yeah, they were definitely rebooting it and trying to, start something new. And it didn't quite work out. It didn't quite work out at all. Unfortunately. Let me see, let me make sure my audio is a little leveled, a little better. Okay. But yeah, they're definitely reboots. Both of those movies are reboots. And I like 3. I see 3 get hate, but I like 3. But 4 is definitely a guilty pleasure kind of shitty movie. For sure. Okay, I seem to be having a little bit, let me see if I can fix this. Okay, yeah, it's fixed, cool. Thank God I have, like, a fix everything button now. That's good. That's always good. I wish I didn't have to press the button, but I guess sometimes I do. And Pineapple Pizza Fan, once again, has a super chat. Also, a new Creepshow series is coming to Shudder. I'm aware of that. I'm keeping my eye out. I actually watched the first, and, you know, back to Creepshow, though. I saw the puppet. I have mixed feelings about the puppet, but we'll see how it looks in motion. Oh, man. Get me lip sync better. Okay, lip sync is back. Let's see how the new Creepshow puppet turns out while it's in motion. You know, I'm hoping that they adapt. It's just adapting Stephen King stories. I haven't been totally clear on whether or not it is just adapting Stephen King stories like the movies, so hopefully that's what they do. And I did see the first episode of the new Twilight Zone, and I thought it was kind of shitty. It definitely didn't quite capture my imagination, unfortunately. Not enough to want to subscribe. Because, you know, they have the new first episode of Twilight Zone on YouTube for free. But, you know, it just wasn't very good. It basically felt like Death Note, but, you know, with a comedian instead of a book. Unfortunately. But let me see, I missed a super chat. Let me get there. We Dem Boys tuned up has a super chat. You like KOTOR 2. Did you play Star Wars Tor, the MMO sequel? No, I did not. Well, actually, yeah, I did. I tried 2 playthroughs, but it just didn't capture the feeling of the original games for me. Like, it just didn't have the right feel. Like, the gameplay just didn't really appeal to me like the original games did. And the characters, like, I don't know, I'm not really into MMOs. Like, I can't really devote the time for this online game, because these online games have to go on forever. Like, they have to keep you subscribed, so, like, they have to really stretch out the gameplay to, like, forever. Unfortunately, I'd rather not do that. Like, I'd rather, you know, play something like Knights of the Republic and have it be, you know, just like a tight 30 to 40 hour RPG, and not this fucking 100, 200 hour, like 300, who knows how many hours, just to experience this story and find out what happened next in the Knights of the Republic universe and shit. Not for me. Not for me at all. Okay, well, Lucas Scripets says, thoughts on the teaser for the Joker movie. I did see that. And I'm actually thinking about maybe making another Wolfula news, you know, just in between until my next Halloween review, which is an hour long, my longest fucking video ever. I'm a little ashamed that I'm making that long of a video. It just takes forever. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this stream, just to have some content. But yeah, I might do a Wolfula news covering it, but my first impressions is that it looks really cool. Like, it looks really cool. Joaquin Phoenix seems like a really great casting for the Joker. Like, really, really good. And it seems like it's basically, what if Taxi Driver took place in Gotham City? And it has that just sort of same realistic, gritty, grounded vibe as a 70s... I can't really call Taxi Driver an action movie. Just a 70s, gritty, grindhouse sort of feel. But it's this DC superhero universe sort of approach. Like, it's cool. I'm hoping that it leads to more films that are kind of like taking a chance and doing something different with these familiar superhero concepts, because it is basically an Elseworld story in movie form. And if you don't know what an Elseworld story is, it's basically DC used to have this sort of imprint where they tell stories that don't take place in the regular continuity. So it's something that I'm looking forward to more. Hopefully we could see more. Like, I'd love to see a Kingdom Come movie. I know this Joker movie isn't based on any specific Elseworld stories or anything like that, but I'd like to see adaptations of actual Elseworld stories like Kingdom Come. Like, that'd be really fun. And, you know, maybe even a direct adaptation of The Dark Knight Returns in live action for once. You know, that'd be kind of neat. I know Man of Steel was kind of a, you know, Dark Knight Rises and Man of Steel, well, not Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman both sort of adapted Dark Knight Returns to a certain degree, but, you know, more of a direct adaptation. And also, Reed Albert says, for April 26th, Alien Day, would you review and or do a patron stream for Alien 3? You know, I I probably should review it. I wasn't aware that there was an Alien Day, but I probably should. I'll probably, try to stream the, Alien movies to my patrons for sure. Definitely, like, yeah, well, yeah, it is April right now, isn't it? God, I've lost track of the time. I have to admit, I have lost track of all kinds of time. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens, unfortunately. Mario Brothers says gay over and over again. Well, I'm proud of you for coming out, sir, but this isn't really the place. Okay, let me see. Captain Canada Jr. says, you're amazing. Well, thank you, sir. I definitely appreciate the sentiment. Gonna see It Chapter 2? Most certainly I will. Most certainly. I really want to check out It Chapter 2. I had mixed feelings about It Chapter 1, and, you know, going into the sequel, it's not gonna change necessarily, but hopefully, you know, I just hope they don't use CGI as much. Like, that's really the only hope, because I don't really like the way Pennywise looks, but we're kind of stuck with it, and it is iconic. Like, it is something memorable, but I just don't really agree with the design for that character, but we're kind of stuck with it, and people like it, so whatever. Well, we'll see. It's probably going to still be a fun movie, but let me see what Sir Edmund13 said with his super chat. Alright, let's see. Any thoughts on the Scooby-Doo Apocalypse, if you've read it? Ends next week. I've sort of, and I guess I wasn't totally aware it was gonna end next week, but I have been kind of, you know, skimming it. But I didn't have a ton of interest in it, because it was a new sort of interpretation of Scooby-Doo, but not quite the kind of Scooby-Doo I'm so into. Like, it's about Scooby-Doo and the apocalypse, and it's a reimagining of the characters, and they have totally new designs. So I wasn't so into it, but it seems like they're taking it into a new direction. But I kind of would have liked it if they just made a dark Scooby-Doo that wasn't the apocalypse. If it was just like that Flintstones comic, like, because I really like the Flintstones comic that they released recently. That really sort of recontextualized the Flintstones in a modern setting. Like, really cool. Made it more of a satire and shit. Like, really nice. I wish they kind of just went that route and didn't do the apocalypse thing, where they're going after, where they're fighting zombies and shit. Like, not necessary. Could have just been dark Scooby-Doo, like just a dark exploration of Scooby-Doo. That's all. You don't need the zombie apocalypse thing, in my opinion, at least. In my opinion. Okay, let me see. Mark Porterfield said, thoughts on Brightburn, aka What If Superman is Evil? It has a really cool trailer. I'm very impressed with this James Gunn produced movie, this James Gunn produced horror movie. I wasn't expecting there to be like a Superboy horror movie at all. So, and there's a lot of like potential for a franchise, like exploring him like aging, like getting older and becoming like actual Superman, and I guess taking place in some sort of metropolis setting and stuff. But I don't know, I do have kind of an issue, because my sort of feeling about Superman is the way he is as a person is kind of just based on his upbringing, but this movie just seems to give him the same exact upbringing. Like, he's raised by a nice, kindly farm couple, but he ends up turning out evil, like just this evil psychopath that's killing everybody, just because it seems like he was, like, bullied or something. I don't know. I'm more into, like, when it's sort of a Red Sun thing, where Superman lands in the Soviet Union and he turns into a fucking commie, super soldier, just fascist dude. Yeah, I don't know. I prefer that approach when he's sort of, like, you know, have him crash land in a fucking psychopath's backyard and have that be his upbringing if he's gonna turn into a psychopath. I don't know. I feel like maybe they should have just sort of, I don't know, it just feels a little too on the nose by having him have the same exact origin, but he just turns evil for whatever reason. I don't know. It's a little, I don't know. That's the only thing that is questionable to me, admittedly. That's the only thing where I'm like, huh, that's a little weird. But it's a cool idea, though. Horror movie Superman, certainly. I mean, maybe they can even have, like, you know, just this expanded universe where there's horror movie Batman, horror movie Wonder Woman, just this world of fucking superhumans that are just dicks. Like, just, and Batman's not a superhuman, but he's, you know, costumed people that are dicks, I guess. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Why are you so mean to the people on your Discord? Says Citizens Against Dr. Wolfula. Am I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm mean. I mean, I'm mean to the people who are kind of just being dicks, I think. I don't know, but I'm usually not all that mean. Like, maybe I should be nicer, I guess. I don't know. Okay, well, that's something to think about, I suppose. Okay, let me see. Silver Star 2008 says, do you like Jurassic Park? And if you do, which one? Well, of course I like Jurassic Park. Like, that's just a classic dinosaur sci-fi thriller movie, of course. But, you know, it's obviously gonna be the first Jurassic Park is my favorite one. But out of the sequels, yeah, certainly Lost World. I like Lost World. It's got some questionable choices. But, yeah, and it was sort of a poor follow-up to such a great movie. But, you know, it was a fun sequel. Like, I really enjoyed it. Jurassic Park 3 was, you know, just mediocre. Like, I don't know, I feel like, yeah, I didn't hate Jurassic Park 3, but it was definitely like, yeah, we're just gonna keep having them go back to the fucking island, whatever. Like, they were really trying to just be like, yeah, it doesn't even fucking matter at this point. It's just B-movies at this point, which is unfortunate, because the first Jurassic Park is such a smart sort of movie, and then you have, like, the sequels that are just like, yeah, let's have just these smart people go back to these places for whatever reason. Like, just, yeah, really forced reasons, Okay, let me see, let me see. The Divine Hawk YouTube says, Doc, what's your favorite genre of music? Whatever fucking music is playing this, I guess theremin music. I really fucking love the theremin. Like, the new intro is fucking theremin music. I don't know if you've seen the new intro, but on my social media accounts, I got some new music up for the new intro because, you know, I wanted to actually own the music that plays in my intro, so I'm gonna have a new intro with music I actually bought and own the rights to forever. So that's nice. That is kind of nice, because I feel really uncomfortable using music I don't own. And the music for the last intro, definitely I don't own. I don't own the rights to, fucking A Shot in the Dark. I especially don't own the rights to the cover of that song. So, yeah, definitely wanting to move away from licensed music. Definitely. Because last October, I was using that fucking Oingo Boingo song, and that really was not a good idea. Because I could not fucking... I could have monetized those videos, and those videos are pretty popular. I cannot because of that fucking Oingo Boingo song. I was like, I'm willing to take a hit because I really want this to have, like, a really cool intro and this really cool song, but, I don't know, it wasn't worth it. I should have just used that song for promos, and just, yeah, I gotta stop using licensed music, definitely, unfortunately, yeah. Because it's gonna really cripple my channel otherwise, and... Because, yeah, YouTube's not going to promote my videos as much with their algorithm if they can't fucking make direct money. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm probably going to want to reapproach how I use music, definitely. But Oingo Boingo is lit, says Blakeo123. It is indeed lit. Let me see. Okay, Reed Albert says... Patreon stream the late 90s VHS Scooby-Doo films? Oh yes, for sure. When I bring back Do Talking to Me, I'm planning to have like a nice little extra feature on the Patreon where it is watching Scooby-Doo movies. Like, watching the Scooby-Doo movies pretty much, yeah. Just live watching the Scooby-Doo movies with, Sid, not me, but, yes, but yeah, when I bring back Do Talking to Me, that's gonna be a new little feature, yes, certainly indeed. Okay, let me see, Chad Luigi 123 says, you watched Night of the Living Dead 3D, the one from 2006? I did not. I saw the trailer, and I was like, yeah, this looks like shit. Like, you know, the Tom Savini remake is all you really need as far as remakes to that fucking movie. You don't really need anything else. You know, I had George Romero writing it too, so it's an actual official Night of the Living Dead remake, because anybody can remake Night of the Living Dead. Like, anybody can. Like, it's public domain. You can literally go out into your backyard and just shoot whatever, and then put it on a DVD, and then put the name Night of the Living Dead on the fucking cover and say it's a fucking Night of the Living Dead remake. You can use the name, it's meaningless at this point. So, I'm just gonna stick with the, like, from here on to eternity, unless a remake looks really fucking good, I'm just gonna stick with the Tom Savini remake forever. Like, and also the original movie, of course, but as far as remakes, I'm gonna stick to the Tom Savini remake forever. It's a pretty good remake. It's a pretty good remake. Indeed. Alrighty, let me see. Wyatt Chambers says, "Hey, Dr. Wolfula." Well, hello, sir. Greetings. Welcome to my stream. Haha. Acosta Frank says, "Seen the Joker trailer?" Yeah, I just talked about it, so, you know, I guess you're gonna want to watch this stream archive, because I don't really want to talk about the same shit again, so yeah, just watch the archive stream, and, you'll find out your answer. You'll find out what I thought about it. Because I'm not gonna repeat myself. It does look cool, though. I'll repeat that for sure. Okay, let me see. Let me see. What super chat? What kind of other super... No, I'm saying super chat. Just regular chat. Okay, let me see. Garada K7 says, "Wish there were more public domain horror films, to be honest." There actually are. I think there are more public domain horror films than any other genre, I have to say. Because horror films were not taken very good care of, so you can at least find more public domain ones than any other kinds of films. Like, I'm pretty sure the rights to Oscar-winning films are, like, fucking heavily protected. Like, you're never gonna find any Oscar-nominated films on in a public domain fashion, like, just freely available. Which, you know, I mean, whatever, but, yeah. Horror movies, unfortunately, are seen as kind of lowly, but I love them, of course, and it's just unfortunate that they're not really taken care of. Like, they're kind of neglected, and, like, the rights will be allowed to just sort of expire, and be, like, they're fucking lost, because there are some really great, I feel like the best public domain movies are horror films, like Night of the Living Dead, Last Man on Earth, House on Haunted Hill, of course. Let me think. What other one? Those are the ones that come off at the top of my head. But yeah, just a lot. Well, Nosferatu also. That's a public domain horror film. A very classic horror film. And also Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Really great film. Just lots and lots of great horror films that are public domain and freely available. And I feel like it makes it so it's kind of easy to get into horror, because anybody, you could go, like, I remember, like, there were just sort of VHSs and DVDs that were just huge compilations of classic horror movies that happened to be public domain. You could get into the genre that way. And also on TV, like, horror hosts would, their go-to would always be the fucking public domain stuff. So, you know, it's always nice. It's always nice. Alright, let me see, Well, Blakeo123 says, "The Brain That Wouldn't Die and the Driller Killer are public domain." I didn't know that, but I saw the Brain That Wouldn't Die, and that didn't seem like a classic to me. But you know, suit yourself if that's a classic. I'm mostly talking about classic public domain. There's a lot of shitty horror movies that are public domain for sure, indeed. Let me see. Okay, Ethan Hedrick says, "Are you excited for the upcoming Pet Sematary movie?" I actually am. I've seen all the trailers, and they have this sort of spoilery thing, so I'm not going to talk about it. But it's a slightly different approach to it, so if you haven't seen the trailers and you're trying to avoid them so you don't get, I guess, ruined this new little slight twist, oh shit, if you say that there's a twist in a movie, then people are just going to be looking for the twist and not fully enjoying it. So unfortunately, I said there's a twist, but it's just a slight twist. It's just, they're going to do something different, and I think they're going to also bring in some shit that wasn't in the original film, so that's pretty nice. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do different, for sure. But I guess if you want my thoughts on the twisty thing that that's revealed in the latest trailers, you know, I have a video. It's the Child's Play. It's the one where it's the Wolfula news where I talk about the Child's Play remake trailer and the Pet Sematary trailer. So, you know, check that out if you want to find out a little bit more about my thoughts on that subject. But speaking of Child's Play remake, I am aware that Mark Hamill is playing Chucky, and that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool, actually. He's a really great voice actor. I'm just concerned, I don't know, because he did play Chucky in a Robot Chicken sketch years ago, and I forgot about that. You know, that's a little funny trivia, but I'm somewhat concerned that it's gonna sound, it's just gonna sound like fucking the Joker, maybe pitched up. Part of me was hoping that they would just kind of make him sound like a kid, and maybe it would be kind of just a totally different thing. It would just be like a creepy, demented child voice, or like a woman doing a kid voice, like a Timmy Turner thing, and it's fucking demented. So I don't know why. I guess because it is a robot in this movie. It's essentially an AI-controlled robot. Chucky is just a robot in this movie. So why would he have, like, I guess we don't even really know what Mark Hamill's voice is going to sound like, but I'm assuming it's going to be pretty gruff. It's going to be kind of Chucky-like. Chucky has that gruff voice. I don't know how it would, I don't know if, like, the toy would have, like, that gruff voice, or how it would sort of progress to that. I don't know. I'm not totally sure, because, you know, in the original it made sense. Like, he had the toy voice, and he just had his normal speaking voice as, like, the actual killer soul that he had. So it doesn't totally make sense to me. I don't know why it would suddenly become this adult man voice that I'm assuming is gonna happen. Because, I don't know, they wouldn't make a little kid-looking doll sound like an adult man at all, so I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I guess we'll see. I guess we will see about that. Alrighty. Billy Mount says, Doc, were you hoping they would bring back Brad Dourif in the remake, right? I don't know, I feel like I wasn't expecting them to do that at all. Like, I wasn't expecting them to just have Brad Dourif do the voice again, because it is a new thing. And, you know, it is a robot, too, so it wouldn't just be Chucky. It's not Charles Lee Ray, so they don't want to cause that kind of confusion. And part of me sort of thinks maybe this Child's Play remake could actually take place in the actual original timeline, possibly. Like, maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe, I mean, they're buddy dolls and not good guy dolls, but maybe, I mean, maybe it's just like, we reimagine the good guy dolls as these buddy dolls, and this one happens to have a little bug, so maybe they could make it connected, I don't know, but I knew they weren't gonna have Brad Dourif at all, not at all, like, so I wasn't expecting that. I was kind of hoping they would do something different, but Mark Hamill's a good choice if you're doing that same sort of voice, I guess, but to me, if it's like a robot, if it's not like a killer that comes back as a doll, if it's a robot, I don't know, part of me feels like they should just do a different kind of voice. I guess we'll see what Mark Hamill sounds like, I guess. We will see about that. We will see. Alright, let me see. Billy Mount says, Doc, doesn't Universal still own the Child's Play rights? The rights to the movie is a little complicated. I think the way it works is, I don't know, well, yeah, it's a little complicated. I'm not really gonna go into it because I don't really know the whole issue, but I think somebody owns the rights to the original movie, like the rights to remake it and stuff. They own the rights to the Child's Play name and all that shit. Like, they own that stuff. And Universal just was able to acquire, yeah, I think MGM, like, they dissolved in this fucking other company, what's its name, not United Art, whoever's fucking making the new Child's Play movie, they got the rights to the actual movie itself, like remaking it and shit like that, but Universal owns the rights to, I believe, you know, release it on a home video, and that's why because for years you couldn't get, you know, Child's Play collections that had the original movie. But Universal, I guess, eventually was able to acquire the rights, and that's why you get all these fucking sets. Like, every time they release a new Chucky movie, like, it comes with Child's Play 1 now. That's pretty nice. That is pretty nice. But, yeah, let me see. Enough about Chucky, though. Let me see what other comments and questions I got. Okay, Nathan Jones says, thoughts on Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, the TV show? You are awesome, Doc. Well, thank you, sir. Well, let me think. Yes, there's going to be a new Scooby-Doo show, supposedly this year. And it could possibly be the last time we'll ever hear the voice of Matthew Lillard as Shaggy, which would be a shame. But the premise of Scooby-Doo and Guess Who is essentially, well, Well, okay, well, yeah, it's essentially the new Scooby-Doo movies where every episode has a new guest. And apparently they got some decent funnily enough, I believe Mark Hamill is going to be in an episode. And Mark Hamill was actually he's actually in a few Scooby-Doo things now that I think about it. He was in Night of the Living Doo, which was this late-night special Cartoon Network did in the early 2000s, where he played himself. But he was also in Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, where he played a Joker-like character who was a baby clown guy. I don't remember the clown's name, but yeah, he played a Joker-esque character in Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, and he's gonna play himself, I assume, in Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. I don't know what other guest. Oh yeah, well yeah, Batman's gonna be on it, of course. They gotta have Batman as a guest, so yeah, they're gonna have Batman. And I saw actually some concept art, and the art style looks pretty nice. It looks like an improvement over Scooby-Doo. Be Cool Scooby-Doo, which is such a stupid name. That last one. It seemed like it had some decent humor though, but I didn't really like the art style of that show all that much. But not a reason to hate it, but it just wasn't my kind of Scooby-Doo. And it was a little disappointing after Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. I could have had so many more episodes of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, I have to say. But it's nice that it got to conclude, and it had like a nice little climactic finale. Like, you gotta, if you haven't seen Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, you gotta fucking binge that shit. Because that show is a mind fuck. Like, it's like just a fucking, it's my wet dream as a Scooby-Doo show. Like, it gets some criticism, like, the basic criticism I've seen is that it doesn't have enough time, because it has character development and a running storyline, but it doesn't have time to really fit that and also have a satisfying mystery in each episode, because it is still episodic. So, you know, the mysteries in each individual episode will usually be really fucking weak and kind of laughable. But I'm willing to sort of accept, because, you know, we had so many Scooby-Doo shows where it was all about the mystery. It was all about the fucking mysteries and all about fucking unmasking the guy and shit. And we never really got to know anything about these fucking characters. You know, it was just every other episode there's something new to fucking unmask. So that show, Mystery Incorporated, was just nice because it was just more about the larger story and just the characters and their relationships and stuff. It was really nice. Like, just perfect for me. Like, I was willing to accept not having decent mysteries in each episode, because, you know, they were at least funny mysteries, like, and it had, like, a nice scary vibe to it, too, which is a little unusual for Scooby-Doo. Usually it's much more lighthearted, especially the last few Scooby-Doo things, very lighthearted, and I feel like up until Mystery Incorporated, the show had lost its edge, because if you watch the original Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, you know, it's pretty edgy as far as, like, it has these kind of really scary backgrounds and stuff, like, just this very dark atmosphere to it. It's still very lighthearted, but it has this, you know, just dark look to it that, you know, the direct-to-video movies, starting with Zombie Island, recaptured, but I feel like, you know, What's New Scooby-Doo is pretty good, but it kind of really took away the edge of Scooby-Doo for a while. It was very bright and colorful, like, and it just lost the dark vibe, I have to say. What's New Scooby-Doo was okay, but it really just destroyed the dark vibe that the original show had for a while, too. Like, those direct-to-video movies afterwards just were a little too colorful and fun and happy and carefree for me. But, okay, enough of Scooby-Doo. I gotta move on to another subject. Let me see. Just talking about you get me started on Scooby-Doo, I'll fucking talk about that forever. But I'm looking forward to well, Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. I am looking forward to that. For sure. For sure, ladies and gentlemen. I actually didn't watch Scooby-Natural 55 Bueller. I'm gonna try not to stick to Scooby-Doo, but I didn't watch it just because I'm not really a Supernatural fan, and I guess it was kind of nice to see Scooby-Doo, but yeah, I didn't watch it. Just not interested in Supernatural stuff. Not really. If you're around, you know, if you spend any quality time with a lady, though, you're gonna end up watching a few episodes here and there, whether you like it or not. Yes, Meredith, huge Supernatural fan. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Show's fucking stupid. Show's fucking stupid. Ah. Let me see. I'm losing track of the chat. Let me see if I can. Okay, I'm gonna get something to drink. Okay, let me see. It's invisible. It's an invisible drink. That was good. Nice and refreshing. That invisible drink. I had an invisible straw. Oh, man. Okay, let me, yeah, there we go. Okay, let me see. Let me see. I need to find a decent question. A lot of these are just statements and comments and stuff. I need to find a question. Okay, well, let me see. Let me tell you, I think maybe on Friday I'm going to have... I know on Saturday I'm going to have a movie stream on Patreon. I haven't totally decided what the movie is going to be yet, so keep an eye out, and definitely consider supporting me on Patreon if you want to join up in the movie streams. I also made a nice little instructional video explaining how to... If you've never used Discord and Rabbit, it's just a nice little video explaining how to use them if you've never used those before, so you can check that out if you're a Patreon too. Patreon supporter too. But I think on Friday I'm going to continue the Resident Evil 2 stream for sure. For sure, everybody. Yeah. It's been a while, and I'm probably rusty by now. But the first stream, it went okay, except for the long period of time where I did not know where I needed to go. But I feel like going into level 2, I'll have a better idea. I think I'll have a better idea. Oh, man. Yeah. Indigestion. Oh, boy. Never good. Okay. We'll see. Hopefully it works out a little better for me in part 2. Now, let me see. Let me see. Stephen Plays says, do a review on the new Chucky movie. I'm assuming you mean the remake? And I will, sir. I will indeed. I will indeed. Oh, man. I shouldn't have drank that Fresca just now. That invisible Fresca. It's giving me bad indigestion on the stream, and that's not good. I don't want that to happen. Oh, God. Yeah, okay, let's try to let things tide over. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I am good. Okay. Damien Leone, the director of Terrifier, boy, he says, do you like Beavis and Butthead Do America? Yeah, that specific Beavis and Butthead thing, yeah, that actually is a fun movie. Like, I really like that movie. It's funny. I've actually watched that, and I don't know, the movies based on things are always much more easy to get a hold of than the actual TV shows usually. So I've watched that a few more times on TV than the actual shows. They never show the shows anymore. They always have it on like some random cable network, the movies, but not. It's hard to find these shows. It's sort of like the Mystery Science Theater. Like for years you couldn't get a hold of anything Mystery Science Theater related unless it was on YouTube. So for years I would just have to settle for watching the movie, because Sci-Fi was never going to re-air that show, because it just takes up way too much of a time slot, 90 minutes, and, you know, rights to these movies eventually expire and become expensive, so they were just like, in 2004, they were like, yeah, we're done showing this show. So for years, you just had to watch it on YouTube, or just settle for watching the movie when it occasionally shows on HBO or whatever. It really sucked. For years, it really sucked. Alright, let me see. Let me see if there's any other good questions. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good question. Steven Rodriguez says, thoughts about the new Bill and Ted movie? Well, that's a good question. I think it's promising. I feel like, it kind of sucks that George Carlin is dead, though. That's kind of unfortunate. I heard that they're going to have a tribute to him in the third movie, which is very, honorable. Like, I'm looking forward to that. I believe they got William Sadler. I believe that's the name of the guy who played Death. I might be mistaken, and I might not see the comments that correct me or whatever. But they got the guy who played Death to come back, so that's pretty nice. And, you know, Keanu's coming back, and the other guy. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I feel like it's an interesting idea, because I'm sure they're going to explore the future of Bill and Ted, like them in the future as adults, like as these fucking demigods, apparently, of rock and roll that changed the world. And I see a super chat. Let me get to that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to if it's approaching it like that. I definitely want to see what Bill and Ted were like in the future. I always wondered that, and they never addressed it, and I guess maybe they were saving that for when they were actually older. So I guess we'll see. But let me address Pineapple Pizza fans' super chat question. Did I like Pet Sematary 2? I remember seeing it on cable. I think AMC was playing it back when they played a lot more shitty horror movie sequels. They didn't have as much. They did not have as much original content back in the day. Now they're all about. Ironically, American Movie Channel is all about original TV shows now. Like they don't give a shit about movies as much anymore, and it's in their name. They don't give a shit. They play Breaking Bad now, but I watched it, I believe, on AMC, and I thought it was okay. But it was years ago. It was like 15 years ago, possibly. Well, not 15. It was just years ago, more than a decade ago, and I didn't remember hating it or anything. But I'm sure it's a disappointing sequel, and it's not based on any books or anything. Like, there's a lot of direct-to-video Stephen King movies that are sequels that aren't based on anything. Like, they're just really just making up stories at this point, like, without Stephen King's permission. Like, they made, like, 11, like, just a dozen fucking Children of the Corn movies, and ironically, Children of the Corn, the short story, it's only, like, 10 pages long. You can read that in, like, just 10 minutes. Like, it's so fucking short, and they made, like, a whole movie franchise out of it. It's insane. I don't know what they were smoking. Like, I guess, I don't know. It's an interesting concept, though, I have to admit. Like, just this town filled with kids, but, yeah, just a lot of screwy Stephen King movies and sequels and shit. Yeah, don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. Let me think. Kate Essner says, does anyone think I'm cute? Well, I can't really tell based on your profile picture, because it's so tiny, but I'll assume you're cute. I'll be nice. Yeah, I'll be nice. I can't really see it. I can't really see any face or anything like that, but maybe you're cute. I don't know. We're all cute. If I'm cute, and if you watch my videos, you're instantaneously cute no matter what. That's how it works, I think. Yeah, I think it's safe to say. I think it's safe to say that it works like that. For sure. For sure indeed. Let me see. What other questions do I have? Let me see. Well, I've answered so many of your questions, sir, Billy Mount. About Pet Sematary. Are there more Pet Sematary sequels? I thought there was just the one sequel. Oh my god, no. Please don't tell me there are more Pet Sematary movies than necessary. Like, there only needed to be one. I guess the remake, too, but I don't know. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Oh, Billy Mount. Pet Sematary. Oh, I don't know. I wasn't aware of any other Pet Sematary sequels. Stop asking me, sir. Now, let me see. Would I review The Mist 2007? Maybe, maybe not. I will say that I liked it. I read the novella. I enjoyed the novella, but, it had an uncertain ending, and, I do like the ending that the movie introduced, like, just very dark. It's a very dark ending, like, but at the same time, it's kind of silly, because, the shitty, horrible thing happens, and then just moments later, it's revealed, oh, that didn't have to happen at all. So it's a little silly, but I feel like it's a good Frank Darabont movie. It's not his best adaptation of a Stephen King, story, I have to say. And it's a little weird for him. It's a little out of place because he did Shawshank Redemption, which I believe is one of the best films ever made. He did The Green Mile, which is also a really great movie. And, those aren't really Stephen King horror movies, though. Horror books, I mean. They're all novellas, actually, funnily enough. Well, Green Mile was a serialized book, but, but they're not really horror. But then suddenly he does The Mist, and it's much more horror and sci-fi, but I don't know, I feel like it's not totally something he's super great at, and it had a lot of CGI, The Mist, too, so not quite what I wanted, but, overall I did enjoy it. And the ending is chilling, but a little silly, kinda. Apparently, I'm having some, I guess, some technical issues on YouTube. Like, I'm in the orange, which isn't good. Stream health is orange, when that happens, it's not necessarily good, so I might stall for time until it gets back to green. On my end, it says it's green, though. I don't know why it's saying orange on YouTube's end. That's not good, so there might be some intermittent, sort of shit. Okay, but Ian Korchik says, oh, Ian Korchik, well, he gave me some very generous donations on Patreon. I'm not going to disclose what it is, but yeah. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Pet Sematary 12, the Banana Splits return. Oh, boy, I didn't know they made, they went up to 12? And they had the Banana Splits? Oh, shit, man. Well, thank you for the super chat, and also thank you for being a Patreon supporter. Very generous Patreon supporter, I might add, too. Real stand-up guy, but I'll have to check out the Banana... I guess Banana Splits were in a horror movie long before they were getting their own standalone horror movie. I didn't know about that at all. Wow. Let me see. Let me see any other questions. Because I think I'm going to be wrapping this up soon. Yeah, because I have been streaming for an hour, so I'm going to have a couple more questions, and I'm apparently also having technical difficulties. Supposedly, the stream health is orange. That's not good, so I'm going to ask you questions. Ask questions before I go. Let me see. Okay. Dr. Wolfula, did you ever see the original Flintstones TV show? Of course I did, and I enjoyed it. You know, not a whole... I haven't really gone back to watch it a lot. Oh, I'm back in the green, too, but I haven't really gone back and watched it much, but I probably would watch... If it was, like, on TV, I would watch it anytime it's on. Just for the nostalgia, I have to say. Just for the nostalgia, but also just the simpler time, you know? Just the simpler time when there could be, like, a fucking animated sitcom with dinosaurs as home appliances, like... And I also did enjoy what I read of the Flintstones comic, like, I feel I'm a big fan of anything Hanna-Barbera, I have to say. Like, just, I don't know, just this simpler time of TV animation where it wasn't so much about the animation, it was just about the personality and I guess not much else, but, you know, just fun. Just fun stuff, just a fun time. Henry G with his super chat asks, and thank you, sir, I don't know if it's horror, but what did you think about Soylent Green movie? I've never seen the Soylent Green movie. I'm just aware of the twist. I'm aware of I saw the scene on YouTube of the fucking guy being like, Soylent Green is people! People! Like, just freaking out because he found out he was eating people. What a pussy. Like, there's nothing wrong with eating people. Like... I eat people all the time, and it's totally natural, it's totally good, it's delicious, it's nutritious, it's what I'm all about, just eating people. There's nothing wrong with it, like, there's nothing wrong with eating people, but I'll have to watch the full film sometime. It's definitely in my wheelhouse for sure, because, you know, I feel like, unfortunately, like, the whole premise of the movie is kind of ruined by pop culture, because they all pretty much reveal... Yeah, I feel like I haven't watched a lot of classic movies just because pop culture kind of ruins them to a certain degree, because you find out, oh yeah, Soylent Green is people, I know that, I know all the fucking scenes in The Godfather, you know, just from watching Simpsons episodes and other fucking things, because it's just parodied to the end of time. Jaws, I know fucking everything. Like, I didn't watch Jaws for the longest time because pop culture kind of ruined it for me. Because I was like, I know what happens in this movie, but, you know, it's still worth watching. But for the longest time, I was like, I don't need to see Jaws. I just know, like, I know all the fucking... And I did know everything that happened in it without watching it, but still. It was still worth watching. Fun time. But Simon Ausmus, who's also a Patreon supporter, thank you, sir. I like the animation, so have some dollars. Well, thank you, sir. Hopefully the animation has been kind of okay. Hopefully I haven't had too many issues. Hopefully I worked out the lip sync. I guess I'll look back on this and find out. Oh, boy. I had some lip sync issues here and there. I don't know why it happened, but now it seems to be working a little more smoothly, I hope. I hope so, at least. So if you're watching this, hopefully it's okay. Dabby Roki says, hello, Wolfula. I just woke up anyway. Anyways, how are you doing? Wow, it's super late to wake up. Well, thank you for all the heart emojis, though. But yeah, it's super late. Wow. Hopefully you were just taking a nap, because, yeah, damn. It's a fucking school night, or a work night, depending on what your situation is. Let me see. So Spicy Tuber 2 just repeatedly keeps saying the rake over and over again. I don't know what. I know that's like a creepypasta, but I don't know what that has to do with anything else. It needs to be questioned. That's just like, just a couple of words, like, without context. I don't know. Okay, Bugs Bucky says, John Carpenter or Wes Craven? Well, I don't know, I like a lot more John Carpenter movies, but I feel like Wes Craven had a much more heavy impact on horror. Because, well, you know, it's kind of 50-50, but as far as, like, iconography, I have to say, Freddy Krueger is just gigantic, and Wes Craven directed, Ghostface's films, Scream, and Ghostface is fucking just a huge Halloween icon. Even more so than Michael Myers, to a certain degree, yeah, for sure. Like, more people dress up as Ghostface than anything else during Halloween, even to this day. So, yeah, Wes Craven, like, you know, played a huge part in horror, like, just as far as pop culture is concerned. My personal preference, I'd have to say, is Carpenter, but Wes Craven, he just has the bigger footprint, I have to say, for sure. Yeah, man. Just a huge influence, I have to say. And it's unfortunate that he's no longer with us. Definitely. Man, I miss that guy. I mean, I want Wes Craven's new Nightmare 2. I really want it. But it can never happen. It can never be. Well, let me see. I think I'm gonna answer my last, let's say, 3 questions, and then I'm out. So let's make it, well, okay, well, Pineapple Pizza Fan with the Super Chat question, let's see. But this isn't gonna count to the questions, because this is a special case. Okay, who's the best Dracula? Bela Lugosi Dracula, Christopher Lee's Dracula, or Gary Oldman's Dracula? Personally, you know, I like the Bela Lugosi Dracula. Like, he's just fun. Like, I like the universal take on the characters. Like, very different from the source material, but just really nice interpretations, I have to say. So I'd go with Bela Lugosi, but Christopher Lee is totally valid, like, just a very haunting portrayal, and definitely probably technically better than Bela Lugosi as far as acting and scariness and stuff. He's definitely much more intense than Bela Lugosi. Bela Lugosi is definitely a bit more mild. You know, a little bit more mild, like, he keeps it together, but, as far as, accuracy, Gary Oldman is definitely a more accurate version of Dracula, but personally, I'd go with Bela Lugosi. Let me see. Okay, actual last 3 questions. Okay, what is Goulash's biggest fears? Me, of course. You know, what other fears would he have? Like, I make sure, I put the fear of God in that fucking green asshole. Like, I just hate that guy so much. I hate him so much. He's just a huge disappointment, and I just want him to know that, and know how it makes me feel. How it makes me feel. It makes me feel fucking angry. Makes me feel angry, yeah. Okay, last 2 questions now. Let's see, do I dislike any horror villains, Wilderness Style says? Maybe Art the Clown. Maybe, I don't know. That's the one that comes to mind. I don't necessarily dislike Art the Clown, I just really don't like the movies he's in. Oh boy, but maybe. I don't know, sometimes I don't, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna stick to it. Let me see. Ryan Smith says, thoughts on new Joker movie? I went through it earlier, so just watch the archive stream to find out. I'm not gonna go over it again. Okay, let me see. Let's see. One last question. Just this one has to count. No, I'm not. Well, have you seen Tom Cruise's The Mummy? Says Billy Mount. Oh, that's a Billy Mount question. Okay, maybe that's not gonna count. That was my last question. I'm gonna do one more, but yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't feel like there was any point. You know, it feels like a low blow to just sort of reboot it again. Brendan Fraser's Mummy is very different from the original film, but I don't know. You don't have Tom Cruise and make it a superhero thing. Like, no wonder the Dark Universe failed, but I didn't see it. Maybe I'll see it sometime and review it, but I didn't really have any interest in it. It just didn't have, like, a vibe that really appealed to me. Like, it just didn't seem like much of a horror thing. It just seemed more like an action vehicle with supernatural superhero shit. I don't know. Ugh. Okay, just one more question. Okay, here it is. This is the one that's gonna count. Ellis Grieger says, What don't you like about Norwegians? Everything. Everything. Like, you know, I can't even put it into words. Like, fucking everything. Like, the way they talk, where they live, like, all those mountains and shit. Oh, they're so above us all. Everything. You know, they just have this sort of vibe to them that's just, and they're drunken and disorderly and just, they just ruin everything they touch. Like, they're the cause, like, deep down I know they're the cause of all the wars, all the conflicts in the world. I just know it. But, yeah, honestly, I guess maybe you could say it's just prejudice, but, I just know deep down they're nothing but trouble, and I'm having some trouble lip-syncing myself right now. This is being caused by Norwegians. I just know it. Let me fix it. Okay, I'm all straightened out now. Wow. Yeah, that button really just, man. Okay. Anyway, I gotta wrap this up. So, thank you all for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed this stream. I'm going to go into my social media plugging, though, so keep in touch with me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dr. Wolfula, of course. You know, I'm making a lot more memes now, so if you like horror memes, you know, follow especially the Instagram account, because lots of really nice horror memes. Like, I feel like I'm getting a little better at memes lately. You know, I'm getting quite the response, too. It's just a nice little thing to do on the side, yeah. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon. You know, there's a lot of extra, well, there's going to be some extra content up ahead, and also this weekend I'm going to have a movie stream. Haven't decided what it's going to be yet, but there's going to be an announcement soon, so consider joining, and you can, you know, get a little bit of extra content, and, yeah, I guess have a little easier access to me and stuff. Lots of different rewards you can have access to, but, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed this stream. I'll try to do this more frequently, in addition to video game streams. And I'll try to have this Halloween revised review that's fucking hour long soon. So keep an eye out. And also make sure to like this video if you liked it and subscribe. Bye, everybody. I am out for good this time. Thanks.